What's up, YouTube? Today we're gonna be working on my brother's Civic. You guys seen it in the last video. Thumbnail's right here. If you haven't checked out that video, go ahead and check it out. In the video, I talk about all the things that we already done and all the things that we're gonna do. So this is gonna be one of the videos explaining the next things that we're gonna do to it. So right now I'm just grabbing my tools. We're gonna head outside. What we're gonna do, so on the checklist real quick, you'll see the checklist right here. We're gonna do an oil change. We're gonna do his front brakes. We're gonna fix the rear strut, which I'll explain in a second when we go outside. And then lastly, we're gonna check his battery. So let's get out there and get this done. All right, guys, we're gonna start off with the battery, obviously, because it's the most important thing. And then we're gonna fix the strut on this side. We're gonna do those two things first, then oil change and brakes. Basically, what's going on is the battery terminal is just extremely dirty, as you can see. So it's not making full contact with the positive. And on top of that, same thing is here. The negative terminal is dirty. And the ground, as you can see, the insulation has stripped off of it for some reason. And it's green, so that means it's rusted. So we're gonna, same thing for this ground in there. We're gonna remove the battery, clean off the terminals, charge the battery, and then it should be good. Alright, so we got the battery disconnected. You can see what I was saying is that this terminal is extremely rusted. The insulation is torn off and it's rusted. Same thing on this side. It's even worse. It's like a chunk missing here. I know why this is happening, but yeah, we're gonna remove the battery, clean it up, charge it up. Alright, guys, what you just seen me do was remove or jack up the car, remove the wheel, put the jack stand, and then jack up the suspension. Because what we're trying to fix is this strut. This rubber grommet was supposed to be added right there. And because it's not there, every time it bottoms out, this metal piece is hitting the metal, so it's making like a loud noise. This side, you can see the rubber grommet is on there. Okay. So it cushions the sound. We're gonna go ahead and just remove this nut.
What do you mean by that?
Put the rubber thing there, put this back, put the nut back, so I can take a picture to see how far down it is. Yeah. All right, so y'all seen what we had to do there. Everything is done, so there's not gonna be any more noise when he's driving. So you can check out the checklist right here. As I finish things, the checklist will be checking off. So yeah, finish the trunk, and I have the tape here. I'll show you what the tape is for in a second. Now we could go ahead and do the oil change and front brakes. Alright, guys, we have the oil draining. One thing I noticed about the oil drain plug, as I was removing it, it was a little tough, and it shouldn't be at all because obviously it's coated with oil. But if you see right there, I'll have an arrow pointing to it. That is part of the threads for the oil pan. So it looks like, and you can see it right there too. So it looks like soon the Civic is gonna need a new oil pan, because I already see a little bit of sweating on the actual oil pan. But it's a good thing that we're down here checking it out now. That looks like the right amount of oil. Definitely was that time to change it. So we got the new oil there, and oil filter, front brakes. And this is why we have to do the front brakes. They look horrible. So you can see that rusted lip there. Damn, they're horrible. So you'll see them for sure when I compare them, but we're gonna do that in a sec. Oh, the tape is for the two ground cables. As you can see, the two ground cables right here, that's what the tape is for. So I'm gonna go ahead and tape this ground cable and this ground cable, and then clean off the rust off a terminal. Same thing on this terminal, and then also charge the battery. All that together, with doing that and charging the battery, everything should be 100%. Let's go ahead and put this drain plug back, get the oil changed, and do the brakes. Gonna let the filter drain a little bit. Once it's fully drained, I'll take it off all the way and put it back. So I tightened the drain plug, and the drain plug luckily does have a nice new rubber grommet on there. So I tightened it a little bit tighter than usual and cleaned up, but you can see the sweating that I'm talking about right there. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and looks like the filter is, I'm gonna try to catch it. Nice. All right, well, that was a fail. The battery is dead. Well, not dead. It's actually fully charged. That thing just sucks. That's not my Milwaukee one. I'm gonna go ahead and charge the battery. We're gonna do the brakes in a sec once the battery is charged. We'll also charge this battery. Real quick, I'm just gonna clean the terminals and put the tape on here. We're just adding the tape onto the terminals. But yeah, so as you can see, we just put tape all over the ground. This is the passenger ground. So this is an extra ground. I think it's called the chassis ground because it goes from the chassis to the motor mount or something like that. This might be the chassis ground here, but either way, all we got to do now is just sand off the rust on here, sand off the rust on here. Same thing over here, and then charge the battery, charge this, and we're gonna do the brakes. Terminals are usually made out of solder, so I'm just gonna use an 80 grit, sand down again the rust that's on there, same thing on there, and then we're gonna go ahead and use a charger, charge it up, should be good. It's honestly not gonna get much better than this. So we went ahead and sanded it down a little bit. Now we're gonna just obviously connect the terminals and charge the battery. I did all this stuff on Saturday and Sunday, so I wanted to make sure that the car was ready for Monday morning so my brother could get to work.
Hey dude, you can't put that there. Oh, I didn't realize you were chill like that.
What's up, guys? So it's day 2. As you can see, yesterday got extremely dark, and I had to work on the car when it was, you seen, it was pitch black outside. Can't see much from the video. You do see me working. Since the batteries took so long to charge, we had to get a lot of it done. It was like 10-11 p.m. when I was doing that stuff in the last clip. We left a couple things to do today, which is we got 3 more things on the checklist. It'll be right here, of course. We got to finish the brakes, so brakes, and we're gonna do a quick brake flush while we do with it. So brakes, brake flush, and
approximately 10 hours later.
Brake flush, the windshield wiper arm, which I'll show you. You guys seen that in the other video, actually. Thumbnails right here. And then reverse cam. So the reverse cam is definitely not gonna get done today. Maybe, actually, let me not even say that. I'm gonna try to get done as much as possible. So the brakes, that's gonna be quick. That's super quick, because it's just the front brakes. It's a Honda Civic. Yeah, let's go get some work done. You guys probably have seen me do brakes a bunch of times, but I'm gonna show you again. Alright, so obviously if you guys are doing brakes, you will need this. I'll show you in a sec what it is, but it's to reset the piston back into the caliper. So we're gonna start off with just taking off the caliper bracket. So, got the caliper off. The reason why you need this tool right here is because this piston, you have to push it back in. So we have the brake pads here. They're wearing unevenly, which is a good sign that either the brake fluid or the piston is bad. But I don't think it's the piston. I think it's just, or it could be the rotor actually. You see it's super pitted. We're gonna change it. And I'm gonna show you guys the difference of the new and old rotors. As you can see, the thickness on these is way more, so
Damn!
it's definitely about that time to do the brakes. So let's go put these on. So here in this clip, I'm just explaining that the reason for the uneven brake pads at the beginning of the install was due to the rusted out slide pins or guide pins. These pins are in charge of moving the caliper back and forth, so it can have some type of movement. If they're stuck, it's gonna constantly be pressing on the pad. This is actually pretty common. As you saw, this one came out and it goes back in. This one doesn't come out. That's pretty common. I'm gonna use my whatever this is called, a punch set, and I'm gonna punch it out this way and sand it down and lube it up.
What do you mean by that?
but that's common. That happens on cars. Okay, hear me out. I know that when you're working on a caliper and you remove it, it's best to hang it up so that the brake line doesn't have tension on it. But this was me being lazy, as you can see. So instead, I just put it up above the rotor and had a couple hits on the hammer before the rotor would keep falling, and then I would have to readjust it. Again, I don't ever do this. It's not the proper way to do it, but I was lazy. Anyway, I got the guide pin out. As you can see, it was extremely rusted, but now I'm just gonna put some brake grease on it and it should be good. So the camera unfortunately died. Stay tuned for the next episode of the Civic. We will be finishing the reverse camera and also installing the new windshield wiper arms. There's still a bunch of stuff that we got to get done in the Civic. If you guys look at this video here, it goes over the entire list of things that we've done and haven't done so far. So there you could see everything that we still have left to do. But thank you guys for watching this video. Go ahead and check out the other one, part 1 of this video. If you don't want to watch part 1, check out this other video right here. Thank you guys.
Bye. Have a beautiful time.